Watching the 2024 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today, we're taking a look into the Schreiner University volleyball program. Mountaineers will once again be led as they head into the season with the guidance of head coach Jeremiah Tiffin, along with leadership from senior Taylor Braxton. Coach Taylor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it, Russell. It's great to be here.
Coach, coming off just an outstanding season a year ago, just a historic season from your team, tying a program record in terms of wins in the NCAA era going all the way back to 2001, breaking onto the scene at the SCAC tournament, SCAC semifinalists. So many things to be proud about this group as you've built over the last couple of years to get to this point. And I guess my question is, what's next? What's the message now to the team where you've sort of set that foundation, you've had that success, and now this program continues to grow? What's the mindset coming into this preseason as you embark on 20?
Yeah, I mean, last year was a wonderful year, and we did a lot of things, like you said, that had never been done before, and we're truly grateful that we got to be a part of that. And I think one of our messages going forward into this year is last year is last year, and this year is this year. And we want to remember all the good things that we did last year, the reasons why we made, the big steps that we made or got the wins that we wouldn't have normally gotten. And we want to translate that into this year in a completely new environment and a completely new, set of teammates. And that was our message in November. After season was done, it's like, hey, we had a great year, but the 2024 season starts now, Thanksgiving of 23. So we're excited that we've seen that put into play and taking, hey, this worked for us last year, and that's great. But now there's new personnel here. There's people that have gotten better in certain areas. And so taking the things that we learned last year on how to play against conference teams and what works here, what doesn't work here, and putting that into play in the spring and the first couple practices of the fall, I think it's going to be an exciting year for us. And I'm excited to see how we take those successes and put it into our competitiveness this year.
Taylor, you're coming off of an outstanding junior campaign individually, just a career year. You look across the board, career highs, matches played, sets plays, kills, points, blocks, just an incredible growth, individually in your game that you took last season as a junior. How much does a season like that, boost your confidence individually? And what have you continued to work on and grow within your game individually coming into the senior season?
Yeah, well, last season was really exciting for me. It was a gift to kind of come in on the right side and try out this new offense that Coach Tiffin had. And without me and our other setters, I don't think it would have been possible. And when I was a younger player, confidence was a really big issue for me. So coming in, having Coach Tiffin and working with all the girls on the team really helped me to push myself to understand, okay, how can I work as a player to be better with what I already have, the tools that I already have. And now moving forward, it's really about refining the shots that I do have. And, if I'm being scouted, how can I look to adjust and continue to grow throughout the season and keep that level of play high.
Coach, one of the things that I thought from a distance, of course, that I loved a lot about your team is it was a beautiful blend of some incredible young student athletes that are very talented that came in and were able to be volleyball players. And then you had some really powerful senior leadership who was also a big part of the success on the floor as well. And, with college and sports and those seniors graduate, how do you kind of help those, first years, sophomores, even Taylor, who stepped into a much bigger role last year, develop that leadership part of the game coming into this year where they may have to see themselves in a little bit different roles than were asked a season ago? How do you help that transition? What's going to be key just from a leadership standpoint with this group this year?
I think one of the big things that we've emphasized is we want you to be who you are. We are not expecting one of our outside hitters to be Brooke Byer, because Brooke was a great player for us for 4 years, but she's a unique individual. And to ask someone to come in and play like someone that they're not is just setting them up to fail. And so we've been getting a lot of, we want you to be who you are. Our team this year is a more naturally quiet team than last year. We lost 6 seniors who graduated, all have their degrees and are moving on in life. And some of them were more vocal in different ways than the players that we have now. And that's great. We've been talking about how we want you to find who your best self is. And when you combine all of that, you're going to have a different mix, but those players will be in positions to become their best selves. And when you have players becoming your best selves, that will lead to your team being the best that they can be. And so we've just been really focused on, hey, be who you are, learn how to do these specific things we want you to do, and find what role you're going to succeed and thrive in. And we're going to put you in that role so you can help the team.
Taylor, I mentioned from a student athlete perspective, what has Coach Tiffin brought to this program? You've been a part of back-to-back special seasons. Even, looking back to his first year, the growth was very evident. And then you build off of that last year and have this historic season. And now you're coming in with a lot of momentum heading into your senior year. What's it been like to play under Coach Tiffin? What has he brought to this program that's made it so special for these last few years?
Yeah, well, I really appreciate starting out with Coach Tiffin that spring. It was really about building a new culture here at Schreiner and what we want to have for that culture moving on into the future. So we had a support acronym that we made as a team that we still go over throughout the year. And not only does he bring this technical and expertise that I feel like has really helped us grow, but building off of what he said earlier, it's all about sort of molding our sort of style of play and the way we train about the people who we have on the team now. And I feel like that has changed everything about how we work on the court as a team, but the depth of the team as well.
Coach, you talked a little bit about from kind of a leadership standpoint and kind of the mentality of this group, but for the fans out there that may be coming into Schreiner volleyball for the first time this year, what are some things about this group that you want them to know? Whether it's their types of play, the leaders within the group, the standouts within this team. What are some things that you expect to be a big part of this group in 2024 that will help them meet those challenges of the schedule here in 2024?
Yeah, we definitely have a tough schedule this year. The SCAC is not an easy conference. It is full of great teams from top to bottom, and with two new teams coming in with McMurray and Concordia. We played both of them last year, and they were tough matches, even though we came out on top. So we know nothing's going to be easy for us this year. And I think if you come watch us play this year, we've been fortunate enough that we had 13 players last year that did not graduate and have eligibility left. All 13 came back and continued to be a part of the program. So you're going to see a big continuation of what we had last year. And it came out in practice the other day. One of the players said it really felt like it was just a continuation from last spring, even with all of our new freshmen there. And that's awesome. And so if you come out and watch us play, you're going to see a continuation of the joy that we have playing. You're going to see a group of players that, we spend a lot of time working on things that are not just volleyball related. So we know about each other. We're able to uplift each other. And I think you're going to see that just a team that's able to work with each other, play dynamic volleyball, not, slow, boring volleyball, but fast. So where it's almost like a dance. And so you're going to be able to see that on the court. And I think it's exciting. I think it's a great schedule with lots of high level play. And so teams coming out to see, or people coming out to see us, I think you're going to enjoy it and have a fun time.
Taylor, finally, as we wrap up with you, I listen to Coach and hear about that continuity with this team coming over from last year's success, and the hard work that you and your teammates have put in have allowed for the bar to shift there in Kerrville. And so when you have those conversations about some of the goals and expectations with your teammates going into 2024, what have those conversations looked like? And ultimately, what's going to be key in accomplishing those heading into this year?
Well, I think starting off, we have that support acronym, which is sort of the foundation of all our goals and how we move forward. And then going position wise, it's always like, what is our tempo? What are we trying to set the standard of, and working as a group to sort of perfect that, whether it be, the DSs talking to the hitters or our hitters talking to our setters about what they need, what they want. There's constant communication between everybody on the court. And even if you're a DS, that doesn't mean you don't have input and how you're pushing your hitters to be better. And we were talking about it today at practice, is how are we as teammates pushing our teammates to work harder, to be better, to hit sharper shots or to hit over the block. And all those little things have really been adding up. And it's only our first couple of days. And I feel like shaking off that dust from the summer and, having these new people come in, our communication has only exponentially grown. And I think that it's only going to get better throughout the season. And sort of defining what we want to work on as a team will also get more refined as well.
And finally, Coach, we wrap up with you. Success in our sports world can be measured in so many different ways. And we've talked about, all of those measurements that this team has been able to accomplish in terms of wins and losses and statistics, those types of things of recent history. But when you talk about success with your student athletes in this program, what's that message that you're trying to deliver? How do you try to kind of quantify or define that? And ultimately, this season looks successful for this group if what plays out over the course of 2024.
You know, like you said, there's a lot of ways to define success, and we can point to our our team GPA from last year. Above a 3.5, academic All-American team. I think for me, one of the biggest things I see from success is we had a scrimmage in the spring last year, and we had every single one of our graduating players. Of those 6, 5 of them came back to watch us play. One couldn't because she was working in another town. This year we set up an alumni text message chain, and within 2 minutes of setting it up, all the alums are like, yes, I'm in, let's do this. Hey, how can we help to support this team coming in? And it's having that support system for the players that are here now to look and say, hey, these people went through the program. Now they're in their careers, whether it's, we have a couple of people that are going to medical school, pharmacy school, already have jobs and are working, and to be able to see, hey, they've done this, I can lean on them and get advice from them because they've been through it, they know what to do. And that helps our current student athletes be more successful because they all know when they come here, hey, they're playing volleyball for 4, but their degree's lasting 40 or 4 years. Now their degree's gonna last 40 years. And so now we're starting to get that support system in. So that it's a pay it back type of thing. For when they came here. So that to me is going to show that success, and that it's not just what you do here, it's about how you're setting yourselves up long term. And our alums are showing that with our current group of kids right now.
Schreiner University head volleyball coach Jeremiah Tiffin, along with leadership from senior Taylor Braxton, the Mountaineers will open up the 2024 campaign when they take on Hendricks on August 30th. Coach Taylor, thanks so much for your time today. Best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.